Greetings, greetings, family. We are live. Sister Shanice in the house because it's Wednesday. And you don't know how we do it on a Wednesday? Yes, indeed. On a Wednesday, it is the Sister Shanice show and guests. And wow. Every strong, I've been able to have on our platform for your educational development and for your interest, some fabulous speakers. And as you can see from the image that I've got on the screen behind me today, our guest for today is none other than Ldr Mbandka. And he's making preparations behind the scenes right now to come to you live and direct. And you don't know how Ldr always does it. Drop some golden nuggets, some platinum nuggets every time. And this month is the month of Messiah. Because it's the month of Marcus Messiah Garvey, of course, tonight we're gonna have a special that focuses on the late great Marcus Messiah Garvey. Yes, that Jamaican national hero. He was a political activist, community activist, publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, orator, and so much more. He was, at the forefront of building one of the largest Pan-Africanist movements in the world that we have seen post our enslavement amongst us as a people. He was president general of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, and so much more. I'm not even going to go into the accomplishments and the greatness of this wonderful superhero of ours, because I'm absolutely sure our brother Ldr Mbandka will be doing so in his presentation this evening. So I'm going to go backstage, bring Ldr Mbandka front of house. So get ready, Ldr. Going to add you to the front screen so we can welcome you. Okay, so just bringing him forward here from the waiting room, our brother Ldr Mbandka, who has been dropping some incredible presentations on this platform, is preparing to come and present to you today. And as always, it's an honor and a privilege to have this great living legend of ours in our community address our people. Welcome, brother Ldr.
Tendai Mwari, can you hear me, my sister?
Loud and clear. Tendai Mwari.
Oh, bless you. Tendai Mwari. Garvey lives.
Garvey lives.
Messiah lives.
Messiah lives.
He live.
Hey, live. Yes. Hey, live. Yes.
He live.
Hey. The month of Messiah. Was your organization, the Al-Qaeda Revivalist Movement, the first to actually dedicate the month of August as Marcus Messiah Garvey month? Or is this something that you embraced from maybe another movement elsewhere? Please enlighten us as to the origins of, this wonderful move to dedicate an entire month to our great Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Tendai Mwari. Well, first of all, let me bring greetings to everyone in the most precious, powerful, and bountiful name of our motherland, Al-Kebula and Mama Africa, in the sacred spirits of our most gracious ancestors, and in a prayer for oneness, hope, and prosperity for all African people on the face of Mother Earth. Rumbidzo Kunamwari Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. It is a joy, an absolute joy to be an African, and a joy and a blessing.
That's okay, carry on.
It's on my laptop. Your show this evening.
Yes.
Okay, I humble myself to the invitation and to the call to duty. Because that's what this is about. And please permit me to extend my deepest condolence to our Baba, Beckford. I have news of the passing of his wife, his soulmate, and close personal friend from a very young age. I think they were friends from school. And, you know, I am really moved and saddened to hear about the departure of our mama from this earthly plane. And obviously, it is going to be a massive, massive blow for our Baba Beckford, whom I hope to connect with in the next 24 hours, just to convey my deepest condolence on behalf of myself, my queen, Sister Kahi, our family, and our extended family, the Al-Kebalan Revivalist Movement as our faith family. Baba Beckford is in, and his family are in our thoughts, and the soul of our mama, the car of our mama. And we just call upon Muzumumukuro, our great ancestors. First of all, we give thanks and praises for her life. Always give thanks for life and for her longevity. And we give thanks and praises for the womb of her mother and the seed of her father, and the union between those two that brought her into being. We call upon Muzumumukuro, our great ancestors, to gather around her at this time, her rested soul at this time, and to give her a safe ascendancy in the higher realm. We say, by the inspiration of our ancestors, may her soul rise like Ra on the wings of Ma'at after favorable judgment in the council of Asar. Ashe, 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 Amen Ra. It is done. Tendai Mwari. And needless to say, when we have the opportunity in Africa Speaks with Al-Kebalan, our next show, which is next Koji Chagulia, Monday evening, we will give a fuller blessing to the soul of our mother and pay a fuller tribute to her. Tendai Mwari. My sister, bless you. I can't hear you at the moment. I don't know if...
I put myself on mute so that, you know, I don't interrupt the flow with a odd fit of coughing here and there. You know,
okay.
I'm in the UK, as you know, and at one time, the cold, catching the cold or catching the flu was limited to the winter season. Now, you can catch it any time of year, and some nasty, dirty lurgy caught me, and I've been fighting it for the last few days. So I'm recovering. I'm much better, but now and again I do get some fits of coughs. So I'll keep myself on mute. And
Absolutely.
Some of my audience will love it because it means I won't do a long introduction.
You don't get any criticisms from me, my beloved sister. But let us proceed. I feel the vibration there in terms of the listeners and the impatience, probably justifiable impatience. We who organize from behind, sometimes we need to be a little bit more in touch with the people that we are presenting for. But let me deal with the question that you've asked, which is a very, very important question. I say Tatenda for asking that question. We, the Kevin Evangelist movement, had the inspiration to pronounce in 1997, so-called, the month of the 8th month of the year, which we had hitherto called August. That month should not only be renamed Mosiah month, us being the children of Marcus Mosiah Garvey and the recipients of his magnificent legacy, that we should name that month, but also commit that month, the entire month for the 31 days, to celebrating and commemorating and honoring Marcus Mosiah Garvey and his legacy. We were inspired by the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, which is the organization that Papa Garvey founded and worked through for the rest of his life, to observe that month, although they didn't call it Messiah, but they did have a 31-day program during the 1920s and into the 30s. They did commit that month towards, you know, a program of focusing on the plight of African people and organizing for liberation of our people. And that was an annual thing. And in fact, the 31st of Messiah was pronounced by the UNIAACL as a public holiday for African people around the world. And it was also the month when the International Convention of the African People of the World, then called Negro People of the World, was convened. But we also came to learn that it was also the month in which the Haiti Revolution kicked off in 1790 in Haiti. It's the month of the anniversary of the Nat Turner uprising, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in the United States of America. It was the month of the anniversary also of the March on Washington, when 250,000 African people took to the streets of America, of New York City, and demonstrated and protested the injustices that were being meted out against African people. And so we realized that this is a very rich month in commemorative observances for African people, linking that in with the fact that the UNIA also set aside this month for special work, and that it was also the month of the birth of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah, 17th of Mosiah. We decided that this month should be raised up as a sacred time, a time for sacred observance for African people around the world. And we have been observing since 1998. We called it in 1997, and since Mosiah 1998, we have been observing Mosiah month. Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari, thank you so much.
Can I also hail the Pan-African Congress movement, because the Pan-African Congress movement has been in existence since the mid-1970s, and they always observed Marcus Garvey's Earth Day. And they used to have something called Caribbean Solidarity Week. African Heroes Day. That was on and around Marcus Garvey's birthday. And we came into the movement, onto Liberation Road when those activities were also going on. And that's part of what inspired us and brought us to where we are as a movement. Tendai Mwari.
There we go. Tendai Mwari. Thank you so much, Brother Ldr. And, also, if I can just hail up Birdlegs, one of our brothers here from the Rastafari movement, who we fondly know as Birdlegs. Every year he organizes an event as well in celebration of Marcus Mosiah Garvey's Earth Day. And so next Wednesday, there will be an event that's taking place in Peckham, London, and nothing's a Gwandesa. And, it's all in celebration of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So it says here, the Black Perspective proudly presents Garvey and the Black Family Movement. Let me just quickly share screen, shall I? And see if I can just share this very quickly and very briefly with the family. So I want to rise up our brother for the works that he's doing here behind the scenes. As you said, lots of workers doing lots of great works behind the scenes. So hopefully you can see the Black Perspective flyer that was designed by our brother Delani. Are you seeing that okay, Brother Ldr? Okay, looks like you've got yourself on mute. Anyway, let me push on. I think we
Tendai
can.
Mari, yes, I can see it, my sister. I'm sorry about that.
Excellent, no problem. So family, as you can see, enough things I've got to go on that year there. Yeah, so there's 2 events, one on Wednesday, the 17th, and then the grand finale is going to be happening on Saturday, the 20th, okay? Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then on Saturday from 3 through to 11 p.m. Peckham, South East London. And as you can see, enough entertainment, poetry, artwork, holy, live bands, drumming, enough things are going on. So if you're in the area of South London, do check it out. If you're anywhere in London, actually, it's an opportunity for you to visit South London, bring your children with you, because you don't know how it goes. A lot of our young people are made to feel really intimidated and fearful about traveling to the other side of London on their own. But if they're with an adult, then it's absolutely fine. Nobody ever trouble them. Okay, let me greet the audience at this moment in time. Welcome to our audience members. So if you're watching, let us know where in the house, where in the world rather you're watching us from, and give us a big up in the chat. Also, do use the chat for any questions, any points of clarification, any comments that you may have, okay, that you want to share with the wider audience. And I'll be going in and randomly picking up on some of your questions at the end of today's presentation. So, Tuka Pamoja, rise up, rise up. Brilliant to have you in the house. Mr. IC3 Black, good to have you in the house. Harmony, enough greetings and love black at you. Good to have you in the house. Mandele, yay, Yenge, Luumba Kimbote, back at you, Mandele, Mayoibi. Welcome, my brother. We welcome you. Brother Kimani, we welcome you. Okay, without further ado, let me first mention, if you are not a subscriber and you're watching for the first time, we welcome you. That it would be absolutely fantastic if you were to become a subscriber. So all you need to do is to click that red subscribe button. And also, as you come through the door, please do give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and that will help to get our videos out there to more people, because this platform is all about us, changing the narrative. We're taking control of our media, our stories, and we're looking at events that have been impacting on us from our perspective, an African-centered perspective. For too long, scientists and historians and academics in their academia that belong to, non-Africans, say, have been, talking about us in such negative and derogatory and racist ways. They demonize our leaders. They demonize our efforts to free ourselves, as if we should remain enslaved and enjoy enslavement on our own land, as if we are not entitled to want to enjoy the benefits of our wealth and our riches. And so they, demonize any effort, for our people to try and change the status quo. So it's important that we tell our own stories. I want to rise up the young people who contacted me on my radio show earlier today to make me aware of the situation in Sierra Leone. They sent me videos and live clips of youth protests that are happening in Sierra Leone. And the wicked thing is that the same Sierra Leonean army that's supposed to be protecting the people was firing tear gas and live ammunition at the protesters. What is wrong with the mindset of our people in the army? Do they not know who they are there to protect, despite, the indoctrination and the brainwashing and the orders? You don't kill your own. It should be an unwritten rule. And the day we realize who our real enemy are, then, we're going to see a massive improvement as a people. Who was it saying? I think it was Marcus Messiah Garvey in one of his speeches was saying that we are responsible for our own suffering, our own poverty, our own demise, our own downfall, because, we failed to come together as a people to organize and to communicate with each other, to strategize and to take control of our resources and what belongs to us. So as much as we recognize, the hand of the wicked in all that's meted out to us, You know, we can't always just be pointing the finger outwards and not looking in the mirror to see what we need to be doing differently. And on that, I just want to rise up the young people across the continent who are, you know, risking their lives to protest. We in the West, we can go out and protest if we want to protest. Yeah, we congregate and we protest and we make our demands known, you know, but right now those rights are being denied to some of our youths, and so they're risking their lives to bring about change because they're starving. You know, imagine living in a land that's so luscious and has so much land, but because of incompetence, you're relying on handouts to feed you. But let me leave that there because I want to hand over to Ldr Mbandka. We are always ever so grateful, Leader, to you for the support that you've provided for all of us via this platform. We have learned so much. You've just been nourishing our brains with so much information. And the good thing is that these shows are recorded, and so you can go back onto YouTube with your notepad and you can learn from it. You can take the information, put it in presentations, deliver it in your communities, in your villages, you know, in your schools, on your college campuses. You know, take the information and share. So, Brother Leader, spiritual leader of the Al-Kabalan Revivalist movement, we are honored to have you as a guest today on the Sister Shanice Show. Let me hand over the platform to you, my brother.
Garvey lives.
Garvey lives.
Mosiah lives.
Mosiah lives.
He live.
He live.
Tendai mwari, rumbidzo kuna mwari ye Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. Giving thanks and praises. Asheo, Asheo, giving thanks and praises, beloved brothers and sisters, for your presence here this evening on Sister Shanice's show in this month of Mosiah. Yes, we have renamed this month, beloved brothers and sisters, Mosiah, in honor of the life and the legacy, the magnificent legacy and the awesome life of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And if there's anyone listening in this evening who are not convinced, who do not understand why this level of honor should be bestowed upon this great man, we hope that by the end of this presentation this evening, you will be suitably convinced, because this is the man who gave us the black print. We didn't say blueprint now, we said black print for our liberation. And in naming this month Mosiah, we are taking back the power to define. The power to define what? Time and space. Because people of power define time and space. And when you exercise the power to define time and space, you determine circumstances. And so, beloved brothers and sisters, we hope to inspire all Africans on the planet that this time of the year, we should be focused fully on the celebration and observance of the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I bring greetings on behalf of the Al-Kabalan Revivalist movement, and we are a liberation movement that is based upon an authentic African-centered spiritual cultural philosophy called Al-Kabalan Livity, meaning living according to the divine teachings and traditions of our mother culture. We're also inspired by the legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the nationalist Pan-Africanist legacy, and his queens, Queen Mama Amy Jix and Queen Mama Amy Ash Garvey. And we are also inspired by the works and the legacy of his spirit and mission child, the eminent prophet and king, Papa Omowale Malcolm X, and his queen, Queen Mama Betty Shabazz. In their names we come, we honor them, we hail them. This evening, beloved brothers and sisters, I hope to do justice to the legacy of Papa Garvey by making this presentation under the topic Consolidating Garveyism in the Era of Modern Technology. Now, bear with me for a second because I am going to get my wife to assist me in getting the screen share up and running.
Absolutely fantastic.
So, brothers and sisters,
King needs a queen by his side.
First, sorry, Sister Shanice, I'm aware that you're speaking, but you're breaking up, so I'm not hearing you properly.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just filling in the gap. So let me just go over to the chat while you get yourself ready. Yes.
Okay,
family,
now I think we're ready.
Okay. Apologies if I've frozen. Just carry on.
Okay, can you see my image? Can you see the image, Sister Shanice?
Not yet.
Oh.
No, not yet.
Also, she can
Share screen.
go back then. Sure. Escape. Press escape.
Okay.
I can see my.
All right, we're working on it, my beloved sister. Just to say that
okay.
I was. Tendai
Mari, please carry on. I seem to be having a little bit of technical challenges, but just carry on. I think everything's okay your end.
Actually, opened it for me to share.
All right, I'm made to understand.
Oh, it's okay. I've done
okay. It. Right. I think we're getting this.
Yep, we're getting there.
But just to say, beloved brothers and sisters, again, the Pan-African Society Community Forum, because the topic I am bringing to you this evening was
yes, we can see
one
the slide
that was sorry, can you see the slide now, my sister?
Yes, we can. We're all good to go.
Okay.
Well done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're over to you, brother leader.
Okay, you can see. Can you see me as well, my sister?
Yeah, I can see you at the side on my screen. I'll just check over on YouTube as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay then.
Yeah, you're in the box in the right-hand corner. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
And we got
right.
full screen.
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, we got full screen. You're good to go.
Okay then. Tendai Mwari. I just want to give thanks to the Pan-African Society Community Forum because this topic was devised by them when they invited me in June the 10th to be exact, at their usual annual Marcus Garvey Memorial Lecture commemorating the day of the passing of Papa Garvey, which is the 10th of June, 1940. And I thought that this would be an apt subject to bring to Sister Shanice's show this evening. It's an important, in my humble opinion, an important topic. And so may the Creator, Mwari Nyakusika, through Muzimu Mukuru, bless my heart, my tongue, and my spirit, so that I am able to present to you, beloved brothers and sisters, in a way that not only will you understand the seriousness of what confronts us, what faces us as a people, you will appreciate profoundly the indispensability of the legacy of Papa Garvey in informing our liberation fight as a people. So here we go, beloved brothers and sisters, consolidating Garveyism in the era of modern technology. We will know that the word consolidate, to consolidate, beloved brothers and sisters, is to strengthen, is to solidify something, is to fortify. So we want to strengthen the legacy of Marcus Messiah Garvey. We want to solidify the legacy of Marcus Messiah Garvey, consolidating Garveyism in the era of modern technology. The era of modern technology. Now, consolidating Garveyism, if we're going to consolidate Garveyism, we have to ensure that we understand what Garveyism really is. And if we are consolidating Garveyism in the era of modern technology, we need to be able to answer the question, what is the era of modern technology and what are the implications for the effort, our effort to consolidate Garveyism in the era of modern technology? Let us start with Garveyism, beloved brothers and sisters. Let us embark on a understanding of Garveyism. What we call Garveyism, Papa Garvey himself called African fundamentalism. There are those who see a dichotomy between African fundamentalism and the concept of Pan-Africanism. Let me make it clear that within the Al-Keblan revivalist movement, we see no dichotomy. They are one and the same. They are not mutually exclusive, and they are not opposed or different to each other. African fundamentalism, beloved brothers and sisters, we will explain as we go along, as we present the legacy of Papa Garvey. Pan-Africanism is the total liberation and unification of Africa and all African people under an autonomous Ma'atian world system. We'll come back to that. Tendai Mwari. So we say Garveyism or African fundamentalism is the sum total of the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. It is the complete manifestation of the man, the vision, the plan. The man, the vision, the plan. It is the black print for the total liberation of Africa and all African people. Note we say black print here, brothers and sisters, and not blueprint. By black print, we are talking about a template, an African template for African liberation. It's the enduring impact on Africa and all African people. So Garveyism is also the enduring impact of the legacy of Marcus Mosiah Garvey on Africa and all Africans worldwide. The man, Garvey the man. Who was this man, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, that so many of us love so much, love so profoundly? Marcus Mosiah Garvey was sacrificial. He made huge personal sacrifices for the cause. In his words, beloved brothers and sisters, he said, all I have, and this is when he was going into prison, brothers and sisters, unjustly tried, unjustly convicted, unjustly sentenced to prison. He said to us, all I have given to you. I have sacrificed my home, my loving wife for you. I have left her penniless and hopeless to face the world because I gave you all, beloved brothers and sisters. And as we go along this evening, we will unravel what was this all that Papa Garvey gave to us of himself. He said, would I not go to hell for you? He said, will I not cry before the Lord, eternally, before the Lord omnipotent for you? He said, would I not die 1,000,000 deaths for you? This is Papa Garvey telling us, beloved brothers and sisters, he would die 1,000,000 deaths for us, for our liberation. He would go to hell 1,000,000 times for our liberation. He is happy to roast in hell. A good man, beloved brothers and sisters, is happy to roast in hell so we can have our liberation, beloved brothers and sisters. Papa Garvey was a visionary, a prophet, maternally of maternal premonition. In other words, his mother had a premonition when she conceived him that she had conceived a prophet. He was a prophet because he could see beyond the mundane. He could see beyond obstacles, beloved brothers and sisters. He saw only possibilities. He was a prophet because he was a visionary. because he could always see a way forward for us as a people. He was deeply committed to our total liberation, the total liberation of Africa and all African people. He was proud, he was strong, he was tenacious, he was courageous, he was bold, brothers and sisters. He was diligent. This is what we derive from our knowledge and our study of the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey. He was forthright. He was indefatigable, beloved brothers and sisters. And spiritually, he was unconquerable. He was a man of integrity. He was honest, he was upright, he was trustworthy, beloved brothers and sisters. A man who led an organization that was financially very, very successful over a period of time, save for infiltrations and sabotage. And that man never took a penny for himself except what was assigned to him as his wages, beloved brothers and sisters. A man of integrity. So that we need, let's look at this man of integrity. Why do we need to study the man? Because we need, beloved brothers and sisters, to replicate his character. We need to imbibe his spirit and give expression to the best of this great man through our own characters, beloved brothers and sisters. The vision, so that's the man. That's why we need to study the man, so we can be inspired by the man, so we can emulate the best of his human qualities, the best of his commitment and devotion to our people. The vision, what was his vision? His vision was to liberate 400 million African people globally, which was the estimated population of Africans on the planet at the time. Please forgive me. In his words, if 400 million Africans could only get to know themselves, then in the next 24 hours, we'd have a new race, a new nation, an empire resurrected. He said all we needed to do was to get to know ourselves, free up our minds, and then in the next 24 hours, see, he didn't rate our enemies, our oppressors very highly. He knew, beloved brothers and sisters, that they were sitting on our backs because we were stooping down, we were kneeling down, beloved. We were on our all fours. And what he was saying is, if we could only get to know ourselves, then we would stand up on our 2 feet, beloved brothers and sisters, and throw off the enemy off our backs. It would just happen naturally if we could only really get to know ourselves. He gave them 24 hours, just 24 hours. That's how much he rated them. 24 hours and they'd be finished. The establishment, the vision was also for the establishment of a United States of Africa. A United States of Africa. A United States of Africa as a global superpower. Just imagine, beloved brothers and sisters, if Africa was a global superpower today. Papa Garvey visualized that in his time. He saw it, he knew we could do it, and he started the process. The vision, he said, the Negro is a man and a woman. We represent the new Negro, the new African. The African is a man. The African is a woman. We represent the new African. His back is not yet against the wall. We do not want his back against the wall because that would be a peculiar and desperate position. We don't want him there. He says, so it is for you Africans to come together and give us a United States of Africa. He wanted a union of African states. He wanted Africa to unite and culminate into one super state, and inevitably drawing on the best of its human and natural resources. Inevitably, Africa would become, in the fullness of time, the #1 superpower on the planet. He could see it. He could see it. Tendai Mwari. Look to Africa, he says, let Africa be your guiding star of destiny. Our inspiration, he was trying to demonstrate to us, must come from Africa. Our ideas must come from Africa. Study the cultures of Africa. Study the spiritual traditions of Mama Africa. Study the characters of our people on the African continent. Let Africa be your guiding star. Study the ecology of the African environment. Study the geology of the African environment. Let Africa be your guiding star, your star of destiny. Have our eyes set on Mama Africa, the land, the people, the culture, the spirit, the energy, the geology. That's the vision, beloved brothers and sisters. And this vision developed into an ideology. The ideology was African fundamentalism. And African fundamentalism had 4 primary elements or pillars: race first, self-reliance, nationhood or nation building, if you will, African spiritual orthodoxy. As we can see here, Race First, that wonderful book that was written by the then foremost scholar, the foremost scholar on the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I speak of Professor Tony Martin. Race First, the ideological and organizational strategies of Marcus Garvey and the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Brothers and sisters, if you don't have that book, go get it and put it on your bookshelf and read it. Tendai race first. What the Papa Garvey mean by race first is, in Papa Garvey's teachings, he demonstrated to us that race, the concept of race, was primary in the Ma'afa. What is the Ma'afa? The Ma'afa is the invasion, the conquest, the colonization, the enslavement, the colonization, neo-colonization, the perpetual system of oppression of African people. That is the Ma'afa, historical conquest and oppression of our people. Ma'afa means destruction, colossal destruction, the colossal destruction that has been heaped on our people for the last 400 to 500 years. Papa Garvey says it's based on race. It's driven by the racist mentality of those who oppress us. And therefore, the solution for us must be grounded in a separatist, race-first approach and agenda. In his words, beloved, he says, in a world of wolves, one should go armed. And the most powerful defensive weapon within the reach of African people is the practice of race first. In all parts of the world, put your race first, he says, like all other races do. All people put themselves first on the planet. And for those of us who believe that because the Chinese will smile with us when it suits them at certain stages of history, or the Russians may have a vested interest at certain junctures of history to countenance Africans as we strive for our liberation. Don't believe that they are not primarily concerned with putting themselves and putting their race first on the planet. Let us not be confused, beloved brothers and sisters. The first aim, if we look at the aims and objectives, and I won't go through all of the aims and objectives of the UNIA in this presentation, but be advised, beloved brothers and sisters, that the first aim is to establish a universal confraternity among the race, a universal confraternity, that is a universal brother sisterhood amongst the race, a universal movement, an international movement, organized movement of African sons and daughters. The second pillar is self-reliance, economic self-reliance and empowerment through owning and controlling all the means of production of goods and services to meet our own wants and to serve our own interests. What do we mean by means of production? Land, labor, capital, enterprise. Land, labor, capital, enterprise. Land, labor, capital, enterprise. If we are not in control of those factors of production, beloved brothers and sisters, then we are not an independent people. We must have ownership and control of our land, which is our material resources, the source of all our material resources, for food, for clothing, for shelter. All of it is in our land. Our labor is our human resources. Beloved brothers and sisters, we may think slavery over, but who do we labor for? Who do most of our people labor for? Who gets the best of the production of our labor? Who gets the best of it? If we get paid £100 a week, somebody, unless we are running our own industry, we are running our own institution, working for our own institution, then somebody else is getting 10 times what they're giving us as a wage. Think about that for a moment. The capital, which is money, technology, factories. If we're serious about, and Papa Garvey and the UNIAACL was and is serious about economic self-reliance. If you want to know what economic this is what it looks like. It starts with ownership and control. And if you don't own and control all the factors of production, then we must feverishly work towards that. Has to be our objective. And we do it a little piece of land where we can run a little farm, a little piece of land where we can build a little industry, a little factory. That's where we have to look, brothers and sisters. Enterprise has to do with businesses, industries, shops, stores. Self-reliance. Accept the individual, the nation, the race has power. Look at that word power, brothers and sisters. Papa Garvey says, except we have power that is exclusive, that individual, nation, or race will be bound by the will of others who possess these great qualifications. The African, he says, must get power of every kind. Power in education, power in science, power in industry, power in politics, power in higher government. That kind of power that will stand out so that other races and nations will see, if not feel, power, beloved brothers and sisters. And if we're serious about our liberation, we must be concerned with how do we restore power to ourselves. What do we mean by power? Simple. Power is the capacity to effect your will. When you have the capacity to effect your will, you have power. If we have the collective capacity to effect our will, we have collective power. If we don't have that capacity, the capacity to build educational systems, design educational systems, build schools of our own, build science and technological bases of our own, build industries of our own, build factories of our own, then we have potential power. We're not actualizing the power that we do have. If we exercise the power to organize ourselves under a system of governance, then we have power. Our own system of government, then we have power. Now we come on to nationhood. Nationhood or nation building. Building communities, building institutions, culminating into a nation. A nation is a people organized as a sovereign entity, drawing on their own resources and their own agency. When a people or a person has agency, they have control over their own destiny. They have control over the means by which they will procure and secure their survival and their prosperity in the world. That's agency. When a people have agency, or a person has agency, you own your time. You own your space. You own your resources. And you own the skill, the know-how, the power, the ability to acquire that which is needed to secure your existence and your prosperity. That's agency. Nationhood is what we should be. Nation building is what we should be focusing on, and we're not focused enough beyond rhetoric. We've got to stop talking, just talking. The talking is important, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of those people who say stop the talking and start the action. No, 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 no. We need to talk. We need to consult. We need to share ideas. But we need to implement the ideas. That's what made Papa Garvey so great, beloved brothers and sisters. I'll come to that in a moment. No race is free, he says, until it has a nation of its own system of government, its own order of society. Never give up this idea, he says. Never be satisfied to always live under the government of other people, because you will always be at their mercy. Listen, brothers and sisters, heed the word of the most eminent prophet and king, O you of beautiful ebony hue. African spiritual orthodoxy. African spiritual orthodoxy. Seeing the Creator in our own image and advancing an African-centered liberation theology and spiritual consciousness. A mode of worship that focuses our minds on a deity. When we contemplate in the realm of the deity, we see our own image, our own likeness. When we look inwardly within ourselves, we see divinity in ourselves. Papa Garvey says, if the white man, if the white man has the idea of a white God, let him worship his God as he desires. If the yellow man's God is of his race, let him worship his God as he sees fit. For God's sake, leave them alone. The God of Isaac, the God of Abraham, let him exist for the race who believe in the God of Isaac and the God of Abraham. He says, we believe in the God of Ethiopia. Those days, Ethiopia meant the entire African continent. The everlasting God. That is the God in whom we believe, but we shall worship that God. We shall worship him. We shall worship her through the spectacles of Ethiopia. Africa. In other words, through our own cultural modalities, we will worship our Creator through our own cultural modalities, our drums, our dances, our names. My name is Ldr Mbandka. Power of the Creator. That's what my first name means, Ldr Mbandka. Power of the Creator. So even in our names, we are worshiping. Even in our names, we are giving thanks and praises. The name Sikuru means God's gift. Kumberai, one of my son's name. Kumberai, my son, which means God's gift. Even in our names, beloved brothers and sisters, it's an act of worship. And every time you call the name of someone, you are worshiping the divine in them. You are reinforcing the divine. You evoke the divine in them. Every time you say your name, you are evoking the divine in you. That's how profound African culture is. Why would we give that up? Why would we give that up for this backward, soulless villainy that is posing as a culture that brings death, domination, and destruction to the entire planet? Why would we be in awe of that? The plan. So we've dealt with the pillars of African fundamentalism, beloved brothers and sisters. We've dealt with race first, self-reliance, nationhood or nation building, and African spiritual orthodoxy. Those are the pillars of African fundamentalism. Those are the pillars of Garveyism, the black print for our liberation. Now we're going to look at the plan. Remember, we talked about the man, the vision, the plan. The man, the character of the man. The vision, that all-seeing eye, the uchat, the all-seeing eye that could see beyond obstacles, that could see beyond the mundane, could see only possibilities, could see only hope. Now we're looking at the plan. Because he didn't stop with the vision, beloved. He put a plan in place to fulfill the vision. So what was the plan? It was steeped in the program of the UNIAACL. That's the organization. He built an organization, first and foremost, the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. And they had Papa Garvey oft times commanded us to unite, organize now or perish. And so we had to, he was trying to instill in us a zeal to organize, understand the need, beloved brothers and sisters, of being organized as a people, being united as a people. Otherwise, we would perish. The upside to that is that if we are united and organized, we will prosper. There's no question about that. And the more of us that are united and organized, the more we will prosper. So Papa Garvey built an organization, a global organization, and its motto was one God, one aim, one destiny, one Mwari, which means God, one Olodumare, one Nananyame, one Nkulunkulu, one Nzambe, one Mogai, one Ngai, one Nkulunkulu, one God, one aim, one destiny. If we are united in Mwari, in Nkulunkulu, then we are united in spirit. We will have one aim and our destiny is assured. Tendai Mwari. The plan. We're still on the plan, brothers and sisters. An international movement which amassed a membership of 11 to 13 million people at its peak in the mid-1920s, in over 1,000 branches, in over 40 countries, which featured on every continent in the 1920s, beloved brothers and sisters. And if you want to know where we get those figures from, well, the 11 million comes from Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, Volume 3. And the extra 2 million comes from the wisdom teachings of the warrior scholar, Grand Master Teacher, the late Grand Master Teacher, Baba John Henry Clark, who said, whatever figure we agree upon, because you get different figures, whatever figure we agree upon, add 2 million. For those Africans who were organizing in the name of Marcus Garvey and the UNIAACL, who never officially registered with the organization, but they were organizing in the name of the UNIAACL. Politics, beloved brothers and sisters. The organization had a provisional government in place in 1920 at the end of the International Convention of the African People of the World. Beloved brothers and sisters, A provisional government was set up, was established, of which Papa Garvey was elected provisional president. With a constitution was drafted. A national flag was designed. The red, the black, and the green. You can see it behind me here, beloved brothers and sisters. An anthem, the Ethiopian, universal Ethiopian anthem. Advance, advance to victory. Let Africa be free. Advance to meet the foe with the might of the red, black, and green. Powerful anthem, beloved brothers and sisters. They also had a Bill of Rights as well. It also drafted a Bill of Rights. Moving swiftly on, brothers and sisters, they had an economic plan in place under the Negro Factories Corporation, where they had their own shops, their own stores, their own restaurants, laundries, millinery, which is hat making. Our women wore hats, so they made their own hats. They had a printing press, which printed the newspaper and other journals of the UNIACL. A doll factory, manufacturing in the 1920s black dolls for black girls. Dolls with African images. Papa Garvey instructed members of the UNIA, instructed our people at large, take away those white dolls from your children. Do not give them white dolls. And if they have white dolls, throw them in the trash can. And he commissioned members of the organization with the requisite skills to make black dolls. Just think about that in the 1920s. They had garment manufacturing. They were manufacturing garments. When you see the UNIACL, the auxiliaries in the uniforms, beloved brothers and sisters, the paramilitary, the Black Cross nurses, and various other auxiliaries, all of those uniforms were made by black hands in their own factories, beloved brothers. Just think about that for a moment. They had farms, they had land, they had property. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah? Health and social welfare came under the Black Cross nurses. They even had funeral plans so that someone who may have died in a state of poverty would be buried by the organization. You didn't have to worry about that. You're a member of the organization, you're entitled to the services of the organization and laying you to rest in dignity. This is the black print, beloved brothers and sisters. This is the plan. The man, the vision, the plan. He's now operationalizing the vision. Defense and security, the Universal African Legion, and there was also a Universal Motor Corps, which was mainly the women paramilitary wing of the organization. As you can see, look at this, beloved, look at this. We made that with our black hands. Everything you see there, we made it with our black hands. Why can't we do that now? Why can't we do that now, beloved brothers and sisters? Education. They had a Liberty University. Its headquarters and its buildings were called Liberty Halls. Yeah. And so Liberty University was the name of its university. It had a school, the Booker T. Washington School, but it also had small private schools that members of the organization used to run. Groups of members of the organization took their children out of the mainstream and educated their children within their community under the auspices of the UNIACL. Media and Propaganda, the Negro World, was the newspaper of the organization, and later they had the Black Man. I'm moving swiftly on, beloved brothers and sisters. Spiritually, they had the African Orthodox Church, which was not an official organ of the UNIACL. However, the bishop of the African Orthodox Church was also the chaplain of the organization. The members of the church were predominantly members of the UNIACL. Tendai Mwari. International Trade and Communication, the Black Star Line Steamship Corporation. That was a powerful, imagine, beloved brothers and sisters, just imagine. In 1919, the UNIAACL purchased, after 3 months of fundraising, purchased a ship, which in terms of its value at the time was like an aeroplane. Airplanes had only just started coming in. A ship for $165,000, which is worth some $2.8 million in the present time. Just think about that, beloved brothers and sisters. In 1919. The enduring impact of Garvey and Garveyism is to be seen in the Rastafari movement. The Rastafari movement was born directly out of the Garvey movement. The founding fathers of Rastafari and founding mothers of Rastafari were Garveyites. Leonard Percival Howell, known as the first Rastaman, was a Garveyite. The Nation of Islam was born out of the Garvey movement. Elijah Muhammad was a member and an activist within the UNIAACL and was a corporal in the military ranks of the UNIAACL. The revolutionary 60s, beloved brothers and sisters, was the spirit of Marcus Messiah Garvey. That also was the enduring impact of Garveyism, African fundamentalism in the Black Panthers, in the Black Panther Party, the Black Power movement, the Black Arts movement, the anti-colonial movements that we saw flowering in the African continent and in the Caribbean. In fact, beloved brothers and sisters, this great man, these great men were directly or indirectly inspired by Marcus Messiah Garvey, Kwame Nkrumah, Omowale Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Patrice Lumumba, Muhammad Ali, Louis Farrakhan, Jomo Kenyatta, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Steve Biko, Nelson Mandela, question mark beside his name, Tendai Mwari. We go on to even note that Mao Zedong, who turned China, led the revolution in China. Mahatma Gandhi, India, Ho Chi Minh of Vietnam, all attended the 1920 International Convention of the African people of the world, took notes and went back to their respective countries and made a massive contribution, inspired by what they saw in 1920. Let me tell you something, beloved brothers and sisters. Not only did they witness 25,000 African people gathered in Madison Square Garden in 1920, when they poured out into the streets to march through the streets of Harlem, 100,000 Africans marched under the banner of the red, the black, and the green. African heads were poking outside of windows, looking down. We don't know how many thousand more, but what we do know is that on the streets, there were 100,000 Africans marching. Now you understand why we were able, a few months earlier, nearly a year earlier, to purchase a ship for $165,000. We were serious then. Now we come to the era of technology, and I'll try and move as quickly as I can, beloved brothers and sisters, so we can have a little time for reasoning. Let us look at the concept of technology. Technology, beloved brothers and sisters, is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry. I got that definition from an online dictionary. But we simplify it and we say it is the science of practical problem solving. That's technology. The science of practical problem solving. And we want to emphasize here that technology is not the exclusive possession of Europeans. In fact, it didn't even start with them. It started with our ancestors. We were using technology in the great civilizations that we developed on the African continent. And I'll just quickly submit to you the Great Pyramid of Giza, that stood 481 feet high, that contains 2.3 million blocks of stones that were cut cubically to geometric precision. 2.3 million stones. I wish I had a picture of it to show you, brothers and sisters, but I don't. I apologize for that. But that was technology. That was the summit of our technology at that time. And even before that, we had hewn out of solid rock the Horem Akhet, misnomer by the Sphinx. Just imagine symmetrically hewing out of solid rock this massive colossus that stands there in Giza as well. We also had built the step pyramid of Saqqara. We also, our people in Ethiopia, hewn out of solid rock into the ground in Lalibela. Temples. Think about that for a moment. What kind of technology did they have at their disposal? But that is not even the most incredible reflection. It is who came up with that idea that you could hewn it out of solid rock into the ground on top of a hill or a mountain and carve out a temple that would match any temple that was architecturally constructed in the usual way. Think about that, beloved brothers and sisters. I need to move quickly, but just remember also, if we use a pin, we're using technology. If we use a spoon, we're using technology. A bicycle is technology. A motor car is technology, beloved brothers and sisters. Technology is a science of practical problem solving. And we say here, technology is a driver of 4 industrial revolutions. Moving swiftly on, Papa Garvey tells us we're moving back to consolidating Garveyism. That's what we are about in the era of modern technology. But Papa Garvey admonishes us here, brothers and sisters. And let me just back up a little bit. This was said as part of a speech where he said, the world today is indebted to us for the benefits of civilization. They stole our arts and sciences from Africa, then why should we be ashamed of ourselves? Let no voice but your own speak to you from the depths. Let no influence but your own rouse you in times of peace and in times of war. Hear all, but attend only to that which concerns you. Your allegiance shall be to your God, your race, your country. Follow always that great law. Let God and the sky be our limit and eternity our measurement. There is no height to which we cannot climb by using the active intelligence of our own mind. He says minds create. As much as we desire in nature, we can have through the creation of our own mind. But today, as we have it on the screen now, brothers and sisters, being scientifically the weaker race, you treat others only as they treat you. But in your homes and everywhere possible, you must teach the higher development of science to your children and make sure that we have a race of scientists par excellence. For in religion and science lies our only hope to withstand the evil designs of modern materialism. We submit, beloved, that technology of the modern era in the hands of those who oppress us are predominantly used to forward the evil designs of modern materialism. We look at the 4 industrial revolutions. We believe we can demonstrate the evil designs of modern materialism. The first industrial revolution used water and steam power to mechanize production. It was the cause of the booming textile industry. It started in Britain in 1760 and spread to Europe in the 1800s. The second industrial revolution used electric power to create mass production industries like steel, oil, the production of the light bulb, the telephone, internal combustion engine that started in the 1870s. The third industrial revolution used electronics and information technology to automate production, semiconductor, the personal computer, information technology, the internet. It started in the second half of the 19th century, from the 1960s, of the 1900s, sorry, not the 19th century, the 20th century, the 1900s. The fourth industrial revolution, the digital revolution, building on the third, it's a more high-tech phase of the third industrial revolution at an exponential pace in its speed, its scope, its unprecedented impact. You see, as part of the fourth industrial revolution, the rise of robotics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. It started in the early 21st century. The European industrial revolutions, beloved brothers and sisters, are built and sustained. Sorry, let me just check something. Are built and sustained on the robbery and exploitation of African land, labor, and ingenuity. Let it be clear that Africa and Africans and the relationship to European industrial revolution is one of the oppressor and the oppressed, where the advancement, the oppression of African people has driven scientific and technological development, which has been in turn used to perpetuate and exacerbate our oppression. Thus, Africa and Africans are the primary raw materials and benefactors of European industrial revolutions, while Europeans are the drivers and the beneficiaries. The benefactors are those who provide the benefits. The beneficiaries are those who receive the benefits. Slavery fueled the first industrial revolution, primary resources of which were enslaved Africans. In other words, we were the technology of the pre-industrial revolution. We were reduced to technology. It is how they solved scientifically their material problems, exploiting brutally the hands, the feet, the bodies of African people. And let it be clear, before we even move on, our beloved brothers and sisters, that much of the advancement in technology during slavery came from the ingenious minds of our enslaved Africans. Let's be clear about that. Necessity is the mother of invention, not laziness and brutality. Necessity. We were the workers, and we were finding all kinds of labor-saving devices that the oppressor observed and then utilized, was able to take it and utilize it, and then what do they call it when you the term slips me, when you register, patent it. Come back to that. Colonialism fueled the second revolution, industrial revolution. African land and the resources, gold, diamond, copper, ivory, etc. African inventions in the USA, the light bulb, the traffic light, the telephone, the engine oil, blood plasma, the discovery of blood plasma. We didn't invent blood plasma, but Charles Drew discovered blood plasma. Washington, D.C., the designing of the city of Washington, D.C., the choosing of the site for the White House, Benjamin Mbandka, mobile refrigeration, open heart surgery, and the list goes on, beloved brothers and sisters. Moving swiftly on, neocolonialism coincided with the third industrial revolution. Coltan, cobalt, uranium, oil, rubber. Rubber was even from before the second industrial revolution. All of those are the most coveted natural resources of the third industrial revolution, beloved brothers and sisters. And as we come on to the fourth industrial revolution, we'll find that these resources are even more coveted, even in greater demand, and Africans are dying more rapidly to extract these resources in order to fuel the fourth industrial revolution, cobalt and coltan in particular, beloved brothers and sisters, and uranium to a large extent as well, because cobalt, no jet engines, no cobalt, no electric cars, and the lithium ion batteries require cobalt for their production. And so Africans are dying at exponential rate on the African continent, especially in the Congo, beloved brothers and sisters, right? For want of cobalt. We're going to suffer so that these beasts can launch and develop their fourth industrial revolution. Background, beloved. The phrase fourth industrial revolution was first introduced by a team of scientists developing a high-tech strategy for the German government. Klaus Schwab, an executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, introduced the phrase to a wider audience in 2015, in an article published by Foreign Affairs, a journal called Foreign Affairs. Mastering the fourth industrial revolution was the 2016 theme of the World Economic Forum. They have an annual forum every year where these, people from industry and politics and the media and big rich people gather to determine how they're going to exploit human nature in order to maintain dominance in the world. This annual Davos meeting in Switzerland, the title was taken from his book, which was published in 2016, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. The World Economic Forum was founded in 1971 by Klaus Schwab, a business professor at the University of Geneva. First named European Management Forum, it changed its name to the World Economic Forum in 1987 and sought to so-called broaden its vision. Its mission was to improve the state of the world by engaging business, political, academic, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industry agendas. So the World Economic Forum is at the head of determining the shaping of agendas, political agendas, academic agendas, economic agendas the world, for the planet. This is an instrument of globalization, an instrument of the New World Order, beloved brothers and sisters. Klaus Schwab, the fourth industrial revolution, this is his words, will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, it will change actually us, our own identity, and of course, give rise to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart governments, smart cities. I'm moving as quickly as I can, beloved brothers and sisters, because I'm aware time is going. Klaus Schwab, his words, brothers and sisters, he says, in the end, what the fourth industrial revolution will be is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities. A fusion, that's a scientific term. When you fuse different elements, beloved brothers and sisters, you break them down so that you can merge them in order to create a new element or a new entity, or a new compound, or a new entity. Think about that. A fusion of the physical, the digital, and the biological identities. Your identity, beloved brothers and sisters, is your very nature of being. They are now proposing to fuse our very nature of being with the digital and the physical environment. We'll clarify what that means in a minute. And this is the slogan that they used for the fourth industrial revolution, and that was used big time last year. You will own nothing and you will be happy. That's the plan. That's the plan. To dispossess us of ownership of anything. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Skullduggery. These are some of the languages of the fourth industrial revolution, describing the different types of technology, the different types of technological advancement, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, transhumanism, robotics, virtual reality, mobile devices, 3D printing, smart sensors, big data and analytics, augmented reality, data visualization, cognitive computing, location detection, customer profiling, blockchain, quantum computing, cloud computing, 5G technology, artificial intelligence. Just to quickly touch on a few of those and just define them very quickly, and then we round up, beloved brothers and sisters. Machine intelligence, as opposed to natural human animal intelligence, proposing that machine intelligence will supersede natural intelligence. And so expect that there will be an unfolding plan to dispose of the use of human intelligence. When they have no use for human intelligence, then what happens to human beings? The Internet of Things, everything to be connected to the internet, including human beings, including our very minds, so they can analyze what we're thinking. They can analyze our very dreams, right? A fusion of the physical, that's what he said, with the digital and the biological identities. Transhumanism, use of science and technology to evolve the human race beyond its current physical, mental limitations. In other words, we're going to be connected up to machines who will be doing the thinking for us. And we'll suffer the illusion of thinking that we've advanced our thinking beyond our human capacity. That's the kind of skullduggery. That's the kind of flim-flam, in the words of Papa Omawale Malcolm X. That is the evil design of modern materialism, in the words of the prophet Marcus Messiah Garvey. Smart technology connected to the internet or having app connectivity. And beloved, be watchful of this thing called smart technology. Be very, very careful because what smart means, it's an acronym. It's an acronym for self-monitoring, analysis, reporting technology, SMART, self-monitoring, analysis, reporting technology. So technology which monitors, which analyzes data, and which reports through technology. Report to who? Report to who? So all our smartphone, they're even designing smart fridge, smart TVs, smart houses, smart cities. So the lamppost will be smart. The lamppost is going to be connected to the internet. Even the pavement is going to be connected to the internet. You'll have automatically driven cars. This is why they're trying to get us off the road, get us out of our cars, so that they can control. We sit in cars and they will control where we go. Augmented reality. I'm going to run through these quickly, brother. I'm going to just skip one or two of them. Customer profiling, business having access to information, enabling psychosocial profiling of customers or potential consumers. That's happening now. Businesses know your business, know who you are, what you like, what you buy, and what have you. 5G technology, which is the 5th generation technology, which in itself is a cause for concern in terms of what the implications of implementing 5G technology will be on the health and the sanity of human beings. Tendai Moari. Very quickly, note this, beloved brothers and sisters. This is, it says here, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, approves microchip pill. And this, brothers and sisters, was an interview with this character who is the chief executive officer, the chief exec for Pfizer in 2018, Albert Bourla. And he says at Davos in 2018, in an interview with Klaus Schwab, I think it is fascinating what is happening in this field right now. The FDA approved the first electronic pill. If I can call it that, it's basically a biological chip. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? That is in the tablet. And once you take the tablet, it sends a signal that you took the tablet. Send a signal to where? Imagine the implications of that compliance. The insurance companies can now know that the medicine that patients should take, they do take them. It is fascinating what happens in this field. This is to do with patients, mentally ill patients, who are going to be monitored by the insurance companies to ensure that they're taking their medication. So each time they take a medication, the chip that they swallow in the tablet will send a message to the insurance company to confirm. So that if anything happens to them and they haven't taken the medication, the insurance company can display liability. An idea put forward by the World Economic Forum to reconstruct the global economy in the wake of COVID-19. Yeah, Klaus Schwab credits COVID-19, the pandemic, for expediting the 4th industrial revolution. And we have here, information about one of our shows, one of our Africa Speaks with Al-Keblan on Galaxy Radio, where our brother Ifayomi Grant broke down this thing to a T, brothers and sisters. Tune into alkeblan.org and tap in how will the Great Reset affect African liberation? Moving swiftly on, Klaus Schwab. These are his words, beloved brothers and sisters. You know, I published 4 years ago the book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. All those technologies are very much advanced now by COVID. All those technologies are very much advanced now by COVID. This whole COVID charade, brothers and sisters, was about advancing the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution. The click and collect that we was doing, the track and tracing that they had us doing, beloved brothers and sisters, the mandatory injections, or whatever they want to call it, you know, all of that was part and parcel of advancing. The man said it, and he said it publicly, brothers and sisters. It's on record. The fourth industrial revolution. All those technologies are very much advanced now by COVID. Everything will be digitalized. That can be digitalized, including your brain, including your DNA, your blood, beloved brothers and sisters, your heartbeat. Right? That is these beasts, that's their vision to take total control. Even the prime minister of this country, that's why they must have given some licks now, spoke at the United Nations, beloved brothers and sisters. And just a little excerpt from what he said. Should the machine, and only the machine, decide whether or not we are eligible for a mortgage or insurance, or what surgery or medicines we should receive? Are we doomed to a cold and heartless future in which computer says yes or computer says no, with the grim finality of an emperor in the arena? What's he talking about, emperor in the arena? When they got the gladiators to fight each other, when one had the better of the other and had them down in a compromised state, the emperor will decide by a thumbs up or a thumbs down whether that individual should be killed. The individual is usually wounded and helpless. And then the emperor will decide by thumbs up or thumbs down whether to spare their life or to kill them. The crowd would shout, and often they want to see blood. They would shout for the thumbs down. And then a spear or some knife or something would be speared through the heart of that unsuspecting victim. Concluding, brothers and sisters, consolidating Garveyism. Consolidating Garveyism. We ask the question rhetorically, what would Papa Garvey say to us today? Well, he would say what he said 100 years ago, beloved. Wouldn't you agree? He said, God made man Lord of creation, gave him possession and ownership of the world. And you have been so darned lazy that you have allowed the other fellow to run away with the whole world, and now he's bluffing you and telling you that the world belongs to him and that you have no part in it. He would say, you race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good for nothings. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other races have done, what other nations have done, then you had better die. Can we do it? We can do it. We shall do it. So he's rescued us there from despair, beloved brothers and sisters, in his agony. He wasn't insulting us. He's trying to wake us up. You race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good for nothing. If we can, blah, 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 blah. Can we do it? We can do it. We shall do it. Can we consolidate Garveyism? This is the question. Can we consolidate the Garveyism in the era of modern technology? That's the era of the evil design of modern materialism. Are we bold enough? Do we have the character of a Marcus Messiah Garvey? Are we bold enough, tenacious enough, strong enough, determined enough? Are we confident enough, beloved brothers and sisters, to stand up, to stand together, and to work towards consolidating Garveyism? Do we have the will, the vision, the aptitude? Can we organize ourselves for nation building? Can we organize a provisional government? Can we build an economic infrastructure that serves our collective needs and interests? primary, secondary, tertiary industries, stores, shops, financial institutions. Can we do it? Can we consolidate Garveyism in the era of modern technology? Can we look these beasts in the eyes, the purveyors of the evil design of modern materialism? And can we build healthcare and social welfare institutions? Can we build African-centered nurseries, schools, colleges, universities? Can we build institutions for the advancement of African science and African technology to advance African civilization, obliterate the evil design of modern materialism? Can we produce a race of scientists par excellence? Consolidating Garveyism. What would Papa Garvey say to us?
We're not hearing you just now.
What he said to us 100 years ago. Minds create. I'm coming to. Yes, my sister.
We lost you for a short while.
Okay. Okay. Should I just press on?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We are 15 minutes away from the top of the hour, so the time has absolutely flown by. So if you kindly just allow at least 10 minutes or so for the audience to interact with you, that would be absolutely awesome.
Bless my sister. Let me just fly. Let me fly. Give thanks, my sister. Thanks for your indulgence. Papa Garvey said, minds create, and as much as we desire in nature, we can have through the creation of our own minds. He says, liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men. He says, we are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, for though others may free the body, none but ourselves can free our minds. He says, mind is our only sovereign ruler. Mind is our only sovereign ruler. Whose mind is ruling you? Whose mind is ruling you at the present time? Whose mind is ruling us at the present time, when the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey, who used his mind to the best of his ability and his powers, says mind is the only sovereign ruler. And in closing, as always, he urges us, as we urge you tonight, beloved brothers and sisters, unite, organize now or perish. Rise, you mighty African people, for you can accomplish whatever you will. Rumbidzo kunamwari Africa. To the God of Africa be the glory. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Messiah lives. Messiah lives. Messiah lives.
Messiah lives. Garvey lives indeed. Wow. Tendai Mwari, Ldr Mbandka, so much to digest. Another phenomenal presentation gave us an even deeper insight into the great man himself, and look at all of what he accomplished. And sometimes, as you say, we wonder, where's our plan? We have our blackprints, and you laid it down tonight. And so just in case we have any activists who are out there who are not clear about what our Pan-African plan ought to be, and what the pillars were that Marcus Messiah Garvey himself based his movement on, you heard it tonight. So if you can stop share screen now, please, Brother Ldr. Let's thank you
Sorry,
so much. Wow. And let's allow our audience a few minutes to interact with you. I'm just blown away from that presentation. In terms of like the new technology and how we go forward, obviously we're talking about the next generation. We're talking about us, as the adults preparing the children, preparing the next generation, too. be able to advance technologically. So I don't know if there's anything I can do here. Let me see if I can assist with the. Are you okay there? Alrighty. And are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, my sister.
Please,
Have I
just
achieved?
check if you're hearing me okay. Oh, thank
Have I achieved the stop screen?
Yes, you have. Thank you so much. And
Okay,
we're
good.
now seeing you on screen. I'm just going to put us side by side, and then let me go over. This is just moving really slow, my computer. And I've just upgraded to fiber optics, which is supposed to be fast, but it seemed to do what it wants to do. Okay, let's leave it there while I go over to the chat. I want to thank everybody for the comments in the chat today. You know, I've seen comments like, they will not succeed, they will fall on their own sword. Enough big ups to you, Brother Ldr Mbandka. We've got Minister Untouchable saying, harass fire, so I can get some respect in the house. D. Francis, thank you for reminding everyone to kindly give us a thumbs up, give us a like. You're not being charged. You know, last strong was talking about running some African history workshops. I said, oh, how much are you guys prepared to contribute so that we can pay our leaders? And nothing you were saying like, nothing. Well, those of you who don't want to contribute financially, you have to ask yourselves, who are we leaving that burden and that responsibility with? Okay, not sure. Brother Leader, can you make sure that you have completely logged out? I seem to be looking at, well, I was looking at Skype a moment ago. Okay, but it's gone now. Yeah, we're the ones who are going to have to finance, you know, our liberation as a people. The young people are doing what we can, but what they can, but you know, we've got to lay the foundations, have we not? Got to leave something for them, you know, on which to build some foundations. Rise up to Jamaica and Mbandka, always great to have you in the house as well. He said, but remember, it was human intelligence that creates AI. Okay, all righty. Yep, we are the masters of all creation. We certainly have been given that gift, have we not? Lady B saying, true, brother. Gebra, Tenba Mari, Black Hat you. So family, if you've got any specific questions, you know, fire them in the chat so that we can put them to our leader. Pharaoh says, we think we're poor. So how do whites and other people get wealthy off of us? We are really wealthy and they are poor. Amos Wilson, rise up, rise up. Do you want to comment there, Brother Leader?
Well, Tendai Mwari, absolutely. The whole Ma'afa was about transferring wealth from Africans to Europeans. Natural wealth, human wealth, were transferred from from Africans to Europeans. And that is why we see the opulence and the wealth that European nations are now bathing in. And we see the conditions of impoverishment, not just poverty. We're not a poor people, we are an impoverished people. It's a condition that has been imposed on Africa and African people. So that is absolutely true. And I hope that we manage to demonstrate today that we are the real drivers of their technology. The ingenuity actually comes from us, but the control is with them. And so they use it for evil designs, you see. And this is why we have to take back the power. You know, an elder from the motherland taught me many years ago when I was young on Liberation Road, that the strength of the oppressor lies not in his power, but in the weakness of the oppressed. And so what we, the oppressed, must do is take back the power. It is our power that they're using against us. take back the power. And we can only do that through unity. We can only do that through organization. And the best example we have is the legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey. Nobody before, during, or after has demonstrated so crystally clear what can and must be done and how. Not just what can be done, what must be done. He showed us how to do it. So we need to take the black print, the template, upgrade it, update it, and implement it in the present. That's what we have to do.
Time for action. Rise up, rise up. Mr. Untouchable, I think that answers your question. The question was to ask Brother Leader what he thinks the next move should be for the Black people living in the West, especially young people. You've just answered that, and he's confirmed, yes, facts.
Unite, organize.
Now.
Unite and organize. You know, every single one of us should be in an organization. Every single one of us should be, at the very least, if we're not a member of an organization, an active member. No, I'm not, you know, just join an organization in name only, but an active member in an organization. But if we're not, and we're searching, we're looking, at least be a sponsor of an organization, at the very least, whilst you're thinking about which organization you want to join. If you can't find any organization that suits your understanding of what is required to liberate us as a people, if you can't find an organization that impresses you sufficiently for you to join, then start an organization. Find people of like minds and start an organization and work with the existing organizations within the community so that we can build community and national institutions and industries for the liberation of our people, because it is about that. Tendai Mwari.
Tendai Mwari. And on that note, I want to thank you so, so much, Brother Ldr Mbandka, as we bring today's session to a close. As always, the learning has been a steep uphill journey. So much for us to go back and watch over again and again. So much for us to learn from. And as you clearly laid out in that presentation, the roadmap is there. We don't need to work out anything. Marcus Messiah Garvey, the visionary that he was, the prophet that he was, laid out the plan for us. So everyone, please do, in your own time, review the presentation tonight that Brother Ldr Mbandka delivered. We all ought to be fully aware of Marcus Messiah Garvey's black print for our revolution and upliftment as a people. We, the original rulers of the earth, you know, the ones who were in control of the old world order, who, you know, lost millions and millions of our people across the world as these people came in and committed genocide so they could impose their new world order. But if we allow them to continue on this road that they're on, they'll continue to wipe us out. It will be history, you know, just like many people in those lands that no longer look like us because the original people have been annihilated. So my brother, I humbly thank you so, so much. I look forward to you joining us again further down the road. It's always a pleasure. We thank your family for allowing you this time to prepare the presentations, to deliver the presentations to us. We don't take it for granted.
Always a blessing, Sister Shanice. You just have to shout me and I'll be there. I will make the time. And I hail again, I hail Brother Errol, your king, who is always there beside you, you know, and I mean, that's priceless. That is absolutely priceless. So please give him, as always, my very, very best regards. And I just want to hail the people out there who've tuned in this evening and all those of you who support Sister Shanice's show. Sister Shanice is not in the best of health this evening, and we know how hard she works. You can see her energy level is low. So it would be good if we could do something to boost that energy level. You know, put some dunny, as we say back home. Put some contributions forward just to encourage her brothers and sisters, you know. I mean, it doesn't make much of, you know, what time and energy and resources she has to invest in keeping us informed. And I just want to plead to everyone, if we could just send something to the best of our ability, something substantial to Sister Shanice.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm inclined to, you know, put it back, but if someone's, you know, wants to see you blessed, then I think it would be an insult to our ancestors to send it back to them. So I want to thank you so, so much for that pronouncement, and may, you know, your heart's desire to see my upliftment be returned to you 1,000 times over, to you and your children and your children and your extended family, our Ldr Revivalist movement. So, but what I would really appreciate more than anything else, family, is if you just give us a like, a thumbs up, and share the works of Ldr Mbandka. That's the least you can do. And you will be contributing towards maybe getting the information to reach someone who wasn't aware of the extent to which Marcus Messiah Garvey was a great man that he was. And you may be responsible by sharing that video, you know, for revolutionizing the minds of one of our family members out there. Rise up, Marie. Thank you so much, really, as thank you so much, Rosemary Queen. Much love indeed. Thank you so much, Brother Ldr Mbandka. Thank you, family. We have Dr. Winters in the house next strong. So please make sure that you're locked in to the historian, Dr. Winters, historian, anthropologist, linguist, you know, works in the field of academia. He's just going to be loading information on us again. You know, we don't have our own university where we can study all of this information from an African-centered perspective. So when our beloved family members join us on platforms like this, we just have to give them the platform, the time and the space. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, leader. Thank you so much, family. More love, more strength. Tenai Mari.
Garvey lives. Messiah lives.